Hello, everybody, and welcome to the 31st race of NASCAR Walmart Cup Series Season 1, the 5th race in the chase, halfway through the chase. But after this race, we only have one more race before the drivers from 9th through 12th in points are eliminated from championship contention. Hi, I'm Levi McIntyre, aka ThrashManiac99, the voice of NASCAR Walmart Cup Series, here to welcome you to the Food Lion 500. Here in Atlanta Motor Speedway, I apologize for that. But this is a return to the track that we went to during the 4th race of the season, where we had great racing happening, and this is also one of the fastest tracks on the schedule. Now, you guys already know how this track is, considering how most people watched the first race, so no really need to go into further detail about the track other than that it's super fast and super aggressive. But here we go. We are going to be taking a look at our starting lineup for today's race. Starting on the pole is going to be the driver who comes into this race 7th in points, Barney Taylor. Next to him is going to be Nathan Hudson. Starting 3rd is going to be the 2-time winner who is 2nd in points, Noah Hart. 4th is going to be the driver who comes into this race 3rd in points, Cole Daly. So we have 3 chase drivers starting in the top 5, which is really, really good. And then rounding out the top 5 is going to be Jordan Culp, then Seth Cole, Cameron Bailey, Rue McIntyre, Daniel Day, who's in the chase, and he is 6th in points. And then rounding out the top 10 is going to be Michael Norman, who comes into this race 8th in points. Then it's Chris Dollarton, eliminated chase driver Chris Oliver, Joshua Michaels, the driver who comes into this race 5th in points, Danny Wells, Carlos Rodriguez, eliminated chase contender Matt McIntyre, Trent Dunham, Dylan Young, Henrietta Fitzwater, chase contender Fred Schaefer, who's 9th in points, Charles Jackson, Ibrahim, Sonny Hammond, Austin Weiner, who comes into this race 4th in points. Then it's chase contender Jessica Sheldon, who is 10th in points, Eric Burden, eliminated chase contender Austin LaPlante, the driver who comes in as the points leader, Cody Lamas, Kyle Matthews, Ian Dutta, Zachary Fitzwater, who comes into this race in 11th in points. Then Chris Nelson, Dylan Thero, Chris Michaels, Henry Nova, Ian Siegel, Cody Hagan, 12th in points Chris Washer, David Rivera, eliminated contender Charlie Rodriguez, and then the last row is Tommy Mooney and Nick Smith. That is a look at our starting lineup. We are now getting ready to go green flag racing here in Atlanta. Now, the only hometown boy that I know of who is from Atlanta is Tommy Mooney. So if Tommy Mooney can win this race, that would be something very, very special for him to get his first win of his career at his hometown track. But we could see a lot of crazy things happen in this race. The last time we were at a 1.5 mile track that wasn't in Europe, we had a bad wreck with Ian Siegel, and now it's back at Texas. But here we go. Boogity, boogity, boogity. Let's go racing, boys and girls. And Barney Taylor goes out to a huge lead, or not a huge lead, but he pulls out ahead of second place Nathan Hudson, and now the new driver in second is Barney Taylor's teammate and fellow chaser, Noah Hart. And now he's coming to the inside. Oh man, back here they are getting really racy. It's 3 wide, almost 4 wide. Keep it together, and they do. We get through one lap, and the leader was Noah Hart. But now here comes Jordan Culp. Oh, and Daniel Day, what a save. He about got turned by Chris Dollarton, and he saved it. And he's still running in the top 5. Incredible save by Daniel Day. And is the caution out? No, we are still green. 3 wide battle for the lead between Noah Hart, Jordan Culp, and Cameron Bailey. And it looks like Cameron Bailey may get the advantage by running that inside line. But he hasn't been able to get up to the position and clear him yet. Oh man, they were almost 4 wide back there for third. And it looks like Cameron Bailey will lead this lap. Let's take a look at the back of the pack, see where drivers are running. Oh, Eric Burden is wrecked. Tommy Mooney is wrecked. So too is Ian Dutta. Oh, and then we got a big wreck. Danny Wells, chase contender, involved. Austin Weiner got a piece of it, but he manages to keep it going. So he's still going to be able to keep going, as too is Danny Wells. Dylan Thero was involved. And the caution flag is out for the first time, and Cameron Bailey is your leader. Man, here I thought we were hoping we could have went this race without a caution, but unfortunately it had to happen now, right at the beginning of the race at lap 5. And, not sure if these drivers are coming down pit road or not. Let's double check. Are they coming down pit road? Yeah, they are. Everybody's coming down pit road to get fresher tires and more fuel in their cars. Let's check in the back, see if anybody is staying out. So far, it looks like everybody is coming down pit road. We're just looking at the rest of the cars to make sure. Yeah, everybody's on pit road. So we're going to see who's going to be the leader. And it looks like Rue McIntyre went with gas only, and he's going to be your leader when we go to the restart. But while we're under caution, we're going to take a look at a replay to find out what brought out the caution for the first time here in Atlanta. Well, here's a look at what happened. There were 4 wide between Eric Burden, Tommy Mooney, Ian Dutta, and Chris Oliver. And Ian Dutta just got sandwiched in between the 33 and the 55, and they make contact, and then they all go into that inside wall. Wow, Eric Burden took a hard hit into the inside wall. So that's what happened to those guys who are running in the back of the pack. Ian Dutta comes back up into Tommy Mooney and gets more damage. Eric Burden took the worst of it, as you can see smoke coming out of the motor. But now we need to jump ahead to the 29 of Danny Wells, because this is where the next crash comes out, and this is what's going to bring out the caution. And it looks like, are they going to go 4 wide? Yes, they are. Almost 4 wide, almost between Wells, Weiner, Thero, and Nelson. And Austin Weiner just got sandwiched in between the 29 and the 13. And even though Weiner goes up into the outside wall, he doesn't really get any other damage other than that, so he's going to still continue in this race, as to is Wells and Thero. So really, we got away with 2 different 3-car incidents where really nobody got any real bad damage except for Eric Burton. But as we look at what brought out the caution for the first time, we will now take you to the restart. Lights are out on the pace car. Updated list of drivers out of the race are Ian Siegel and Eric Burton. I'm not sure what happened to Ian Siegel. We'll have to take a look at a replay in case a caution comes out again. But Rue McIntyre is your leader. Second is Trent Dunham. Third, Barney Taylor. Fourth, Chris Dollarton. Fifth is Seth Cole. Sixth is Austin LaPlante. Seventh, Matt McIntyre. Eighth, Jordan Culp. Ninth, Daniel Day. Michael Norman is your top 10. Then it's Kyle Matthews, Zachary Fitzwater, Noah Hart, Joshua Michaels, Jessica Shelton, Henry Nova, Cole Daly, Cameron Bailey, Fred Schaefer, Sonny Hammond, the top 20. Then it's Cody Hagan, Nathan Hudson, Charles Jackson, Ibrahim, Nick Smith, Henrietta Fitzwater, Chris Nelson, Charlie Rodriguez, Dylan Young, Chris Washer, the top 30. Then it's Cody Lamas, Chris Michaels, Carlos Rodriguez, Chris Oliver, David Rivera, Ian Dutta, Dylan Thero, Tommy Mooney, Austin Weiner, and Danny Wells. Oh, Ian Siegel, he was actually just a couple laps down. So he wasn't out of the race, he just was on pit road for a long time. So that's only Eric Burton, the only car out of the race officially. But here we go, green flag is back out here at Atlanta. And already I see teammates are going to battle for the lead. Rue McIntyre and Trent Dunham. But here comes Ian Siegel all of a sudden like a rocket. And he's trying to get one of his 2 laps back. And he's got the inside line, but Trent Dunham is your leader. But now here comes Barney Taylor to try to regain the lead. And Ian Siegel looks like he is going to get his first of 2 laps back. But now here comes Barney Taylor underneath him to try to put him back 2 laps down. Let's take a look back here, see who's all running. There's Tommy Mooney, Danny Wells, teammates. I guess they may not be up to speed. There's Austin Weiner, who is up to speed. And there's Dylan Thero, Ian Dutta, Cody Lamas, the points leaders running back here. Let's see, any other chasers. There's Chris Washer. There's Cole Daly, Fred Schaefer, and there was Jessica Sheldon behind him. Michael Norman, Noah Hart, Zachary Fitzwater. And now all of a sudden Daniel Day, he's going to try to get up to try to take the lead from Trent Dunham. So right at the moment, Daniel Day is the highest running chase driver in the field at the moment. Let's go back here and see. Yeah, Austin Weiner is up to speed. He's just losing the pack at the moment. Everybody else is running really well at the moment. Oh man, 4 wide back here. This is not going to work. Austin LaPlante into the wall. As to is Barney Taylor, but they save it. But is there going to be another incident? Don't look like it. I think, yeah, we're still green because they saved it, but they both went up into the wall, LaPlante and Taylor. But we are still green flag racing here. And Trent Dunham is still your leader, while Daniel Day is in second, and Ian Siegel is trying to get one of his 2 laps back. Meanwhile, lurking in behind is chaser Zachary Fitzwater. There's Barney Taylor, who is running in the top 10 at the moment. Now he's all the way back to 38th. Austin LaPlante, I think he just lost his speed. I don't think he's going to be up to speed now. Barney Taylor, however, I'm not sure. I think he isn't up to speed. Meanwhile, everybody else is racing clean and green at the moment. Trying to find out who's the leader. And it's still Trent Dunham. And we are still green flag racing here. And we're about 4 or 5 laps away. Or not 4 or 5 laps, about 8 to 10 laps away from the halfway point of this race. Meanwhile, here comes Zachary Fitzwater to try to get underneath the lap car of Ian Siegel so he can be a threat to Trent Dunham to get the lead. Meanwhile, there's Daniel Day, so we have 2 chase drivers running inside the top 5. And Ian Siegel's just not letting go of trying to get a lap back. And he's going to go to the inside of Trent Dunham. If Ian Siegel can get in front of the leader and the caution comes out, he'll be able to get the lap back officially. Although he will still be a lap down, but if he can pull off what he did earlier and stay up to speed and stay in front of the leaders, he can be back on the lead lap. But meanwhile, we have a new leader, at least for the time being, and that's chase driver Zachary Fitzwater going underneath Trent Dunham. And also here comes Daniel Day into this battle. And Fitzwater doesn't have Dunham quite cleared yet, and now he's got him cleared. But now here comes Daniel Day to the bottom, but Zachary looks like he's going to throw the block. So in the meantime, we have Fitzwater and Day running first and second. Let's take a look and see where the other chase drivers are running. You got Fitzwater the leader, Daniel Day second, then Fred Schaefer in fourth. Noah Hart around, let's see where he scored. Scoring monitor hasn't updated itself. I think he's 10th. Then the next highest running chaser is Jessica Sheldon, next to Cole Daly and also Chris Washer running 17th, 18th, 19th. Then it's Cody Lamas in the 20th spot. Then 22nd is Michael Norman. Then it is Austin Weiner back in 36th. Barney Taylor 37th, Danny Wells 38th. Meanwhile, Zachary Fitzwater trying to get Ian Siegel to be back 2 laps down, but Ian Siegel's not going to give up. Meanwhile, we are still clean and green, and now Daniel Day had a big run on him coming into turn 1, but wasn't able to capitalize on it. And now here comes Trent Dunham back to the bottom. And also Cameron Bailey in the 10 cars entered into this battle, and Fred Schaefer starting to lurk into the picture. We are a couple laps away from the halfway point. Let's take a look. There's Austin LaPlante, and these drivers are just now coming off of turn 2, and LaPlante just now entered turn 3, coming off of 4 now. So they may, if the race goes green for a while, then LaPlante is going to be caught by the leaders. And that can stir up trouble, because the last time Austin LaPlante was a wrecked car and wasn't up to speed on a 1.5 mile track was the race before the chase at Texas, when he was so slow on the track he couldn't get going, and he's looking like they're coming down pit road. Could this mean that pit stops are going to happen soon? I saw one car, there's Fred Schaefer, Rue McIntyre, so green flag pit stops are taking place, and I see Austin Weiner on pit road. Meanwhile, Zachary Fitzwater got around Ian Siegel to put him back 2 laps down. Here comes Tommy Mooney, Danny Wells, among others, to pit road. And here come the leaders, Zachary Fitzwater, Trent Dunham, and a lot of other cars coming on the pit road to... Oh, and Chris Dollerton gets spun coming in the pit road, but he's going to keep it together, and he's going to make it down to pit road and try to get into his pit stall. Let's see. Oh, we had some contact between Joshua Michaels and Daniel Day on pit road. Let's see who was last scored as the leader. They were last scoring Trent Dunham as the leader. Let's see if the one is in pit road at the moment. There he is. He's just now coming off of pit road. And he's going to try. Well, he couldn't. Zachary Fitzwater beat Dunham out of pit road. So if everything cycles back around, we're looking at your new leader in Zachary Fitzwater. But there is Fred Schaefer. He got around them both. So it makes me wonder if whether or not the 31 is going to be your leader here. Let's see where he's going to be scored. He is the leader. Fred Schaefer is your new leader at the moment. And he was one of the first drivers who was a front runner who came down pit road, so pit strategy worked out well for him. And he's got a huge lead over Rue McIntyre now, because now he's up to second. Then it's Zachary Fitzwater and Trent Dunham. And then the last car in the top 5 is Dylan Young all of a sudden. But now, looks like Fred Schaefer might encounter 3 damaged, not up to speed cars in Danny Wells, Austin LaPlante, and Tommy Mooney. Now here comes Schaefer to try to get to the bottom, and looks like Wells is going to let him by. So that's one of 3 cars who is not up to speed that he's going to encounter that he completed. Now he's going to encounter another teammate, Tommy Mooney. And he's going to go to the bottom here to get around him. Now that's Austin LaPlante, and then he should have clear traffic in front of him. And it is 20 laps to go here at Atlanta. Fred Schaefer's going to get around LaPlante. But then there's one more car a little bit further ahead, and that's Dylan Thero. Meanwhile, back here we see a battle for 33rd between Charles Jackson and Nathan Hudson. There's Ian Dutta. Let's see where the 5 car of Austin Weiner is running at the moment. He is running in the 18th spot, so he's starting to rebound a little bit after getting into that first caution. If he can get himself a top 10 finish, and drivers like Barney Taylor, or not Barney Taylor, but like Cody Lamas, Cole Daly, and I believe Noah Hart, if he can finish ahead of those drivers, he could walk out of this race the new points leader. Meanwhile, Cody Lamas, oh, he's going to turn Nick Smith into Cameron Bailey. Austin Weiner barely gets through. And looks like Nick Smith, Cameron Bailey are going to avoid taking hits from anybody. Wow, Nick Smith barely got hit. But is the caution out? Yes, it is. Caution is out for the second time here in Atlanta. Let's see who is the leader at the moment. Oh, and then we got another incident. Danny Wells and Rue McIntyre wreck. But they save it. Even though they hit the wall and spun, they saved the cars. But Fred Schaefer is still your leader at the moment. Now let's see if these drivers are coming down pit road this time. If they do, and they get more gas, they can probably make it the rest of the way of the race on fuel. Let's see. Yes, Schaefer's coming down. Nick Smith on pit road, and looks like the 8 and everybody else is coming down pit road to top off on fuel. Let's stay up here with the 31, see if he can get a fast enough stop to where he can restart as the leader again. But man, we had 2 separate incidents take place. One involving the 20 and the 10, one involving the 8 and the lap car of the 29 of Danny Wells. And it actually looks like Trent Dunham, as far as the drivers on the lead lap, he's going to probably be your leader because he got a fast enough stop. Then Zachary Fitzwater, then Fred Schaefer, Rue McIntyre, and Daniel Day will be your top 5 when we go green. But anyway, since we're under caution, we're going to take a break and we're going to look at a replay at the 2 incidents that took place. One that brought out the caution and one that happened during the caution. Well, here's a look at what happened with Nick Smith and Cameron Bailey. Cody Lamas, the points leader, tries to make it 3 wide, and he can't get to the 20 clear enough, and he's going to turn the 20 of Nick Smith, and he comes back up the racetrack and gets into Cameron Bailey, and wow, Nick Smith took a hard hit. Wow, Austin Weiner almost T-boned the 20 car, and that would have been bad, but Nick Smith hit the wall hard enough to go up in the air for a split second, but he managed to keep the car straight. So too does Cameron Bailey. Now we need to go up here to the 8 of Rue McIntyre, if we can find him. There he is. And Danny Wells is going to be a trouble starter because these drivers are going to encounter lap traffic at some point. Let's see what's going to happen with this. This all is going to happen during the caution, and wow, look back here. Tommy Mooney barely almost got turned by Zachary Fitzwater. Let's see what happens with the 8. He slows down, and then he comes up right in front of the 29 and then turns himself up against the wall. And they both go sideways and spinning, but they save and they keep it straight. So really no severe damage on either car, and Rue McIntyre will still restart in the top 5 along with that pit stop. But that was a look at what happened during the caution as well as what brought out the caution. We will now take you to the restart. Well, lights are out on the pace car, which means also these lap cars are going to get in their lines for this restart. But updated list of drivers out of the race are Barney Taylor and Kyle Matthews. I'm not sure what happened to those cars, but we'll take a look at a replay of that in case a caution comes out, and we're going to see what happened to them. But Trent Dunham is going to be your leader. Second, Zachary Fitzwater. Third is Fred Schaefer. Fourth, Rue McIntyre. Fifth, Daniel Day. Sixth is Seth Cole. Seventh will be Henrietta Fitzwater. Eighth, Chris Nelson. Ninth, Jessica Sheldon. Ibrahim, your top 10. Then it's Charlie Rodriguez, Cody Lamas, Dylan Young, David Rivera, Matt McIntyre to top 15. Then it's Henry Nova, Sonny Hammond, Chris Washer, Chris Dollarton, Carlos Rodriguez, Austin Weiner, Jordan Culp, Joshua Michaels, Cody Hagan, Chris Oliver, Cameron Bailey, Nathan Hudson, Chris Michaels, Charles Jackson, Michael Norman, Cole Daly, Noah Hart, Ian Dutta. Those are the lead lap cars. Actually, Barney Taylor's not out. He was just in pit road for so long after that incident with Austin LaPlante. But here we go. Green flag is back out, and I forgot to look at what happened between those two. But if a caution comes out, we'll re-look at that as well as what happened to Kyle Matthews. But Trent Dunham's going to skim through the lap cars, as to will Fred Schaefer and Daniel Day. And Trent Dunham is going to be your leader still. Fred Schaefer second. Third will be Daniel Day. Oh, lap traffic is all over the place. Now Henrietta Fitzwater, but now Zachary Fitzwater's getting held up. And it is 12 to go here at Atlanta. And Trent Dunham still leads, but now Fred Schaefer is starting to come into the picture, as to is Daniel Day. Fourth now is Charlie Rodriguez. Fifth is Matt McIntyre. Let's take a look, see where chase drivers are running. There you see second, Fred Schaefer. Third, Daniel Day. Next highest chaser is Zachary Fitzwater in the 7th spot. Then it is Jessica Sheldon, 11th. 12th, Cody Lamas. Coming in for 13th is Austin Weiner. What a great rebound he had from after getting in that first caution. Then the next highest chaser is Noah Hart, then Danny Wells, or at least on track, but he's one of the last cars in the chase on the field in 37th. Then Chris Washer. Then it is Cole Daly in 29th. Then Michael Norman, Barney Taylor on the track in 40th. And now Fred Schaefer has all of a sudden gone to the lead. Where is Trent Dunham? What happened to him? Oh, he's back here in 4th. He got shuffled way out of line, and we are 9 laps to go here at Atlanta. And Fred Schaefer is your leader, and if he can get this win, this can help him out quite a lot in the point standings. Excuse me. And then back here we have a battle for second between eliminated contender Charlie Rodriguez and Daniel Day, and also Trent Dunham lurking in the shadows back here. And meanwhile, Ian Siegel, let's see, he is now back on the lead lap, at least for the time being. If a caution comes out, he'll restart at the tail end of the longest line. And he could potentially get himself a better finish, but that's only if a caution comes out here in the next couple laps. Because if a caution comes out within around lap 45 or even 46, we would get lucky to get a one-lap shootout, but the race would most likely not go green if a caution were to come out between laps 45 and 48. Let's take a look back here. There you see Nick Smith, and he is not up to speed whatsoever. Rue McIntyre now is not up to speed after he got into that incident with Danny Wells, so that's a tough break for the 8 car. There's Barney Taylor, and there's Cameron Bailey, who isn't up to speed. Same with Danny Wells and Tommy Mooney. Ibrahim, I think he's up to speed, but I don't know how he got that rear end damage. Must have been on pit road, but nonetheless, he's still running. Let's take you back up to the front, and Fred Schaefer's trying to put Ian Siegel back a lap down, and he's coming down to the stripe to take 4 laps to go here in Atlanta. Let's check the margin. He's got about 3/4 of a second lead over Charlie Rodriguez at the moment. Let's keep an eye out, see if the green is still out, and yes, we are still green flag racing here. And here comes Ian Siegel back to the bottom to try to get his lap back. And it is 3 to go here. Now all of a sudden, Charlie Rodriguez has caught the 31 of Fred Schaefer for the lead, but can he get around him is the question. Here he comes right now, right to the bottom. He got a big run. That's because the 22 was holding the 31 up. And they're coming to 2 laps to go here in Atlanta. Can Fred Schaefer get back to the lead before the white flag? We'll find out. And also here comes Henrietta Fitzwater into the fray. Let's see if does Fred Schaefer have something for the 18 car. We'll see, and they're coming off of turn 4 to take the white flag. And the white flag is out. Final lap here in Atlanta. Oh, and they're going to encounter lap traffic in the form of Rue McIntyre. Fred Schaefer's going to split it, and he's on the bottom of the 18 car. Can he clear him is the question. That also gave room for Henrietta to get in here. Let's see if Schaefer can clear him. And it looks like he is going to. They're coming off of turn 4 to take the checkered flag. Fred Schaefer is going to get his 2nd win of the season, and he's going to win here at Atlanta. Great job for that 31 team. Great job. And this can be really beneficial for him in the point standings too, because he came into this race, I believe, 9th in points. So he was in that 9th through 12th danger zone, but this can help him out immensely in points. But now let's take a look at your official finishing results. Fred Schaefer is going to get his 2nd win of the season, his 1st in the chase here in Atlanta. Great job for that team. Charlie Rodriguez almost got his 3rd win of the season, but he's going to come away with a 2nd place finish. Great run for him. Henrietta Fitzwater gets another top 5 finish. She is going to be on the verge of getting a win potentially here before the season's over. She's going to come away with 3rd. Great run for her. Chris Dollarton gets a 4th place finish. Great job for that 34 Front Row Motorsports car. And then the next highest chaser was Jessica Shelton in the 5th spot. This can help her out in the point standings too, because she came in 10th in the points, so she was in that danger zone. But we'll see where she'll end up in points whenever the end of the video comes. But Joshua Michaels all of a sudden gets a 6th place finish. We did not talk about him all day long, and he gets a 6th place finish. 7th, Daniel Day, great run for him. A great rebound after what happened last week at, I believe, Rockingham, UK. And then Zachary Fitzwater, who was a front runner car for a lot of the day, he's going to come away with 8th. And how about Sonny Hammond? We did not talk about him all day long. He's going to come in 9th place. Great run for him. And then one of the front running cars of the day, Trent Dunham's going to come away with a 10th place finish. Then the rest of the top 20 was Chris Nelson, Matt McIntyre, Carlos Rodriguez, David Rivera, Chaser, Cody Lamas, Dylan Young, Austin Weiner, Chaser, who rebounded and got a top 20. We'll see how he's going to be in the point standings after this race. Cody Hagan, Noah Hart, a Chase driver, and then Charles Jackson, the top 20. Then the rest of the top 30 was Chris Oliver, Chris Washer, who's a Chaser, Chris Michaels, Seth Cole, Jordan Kolb, Henry Nova, Ian Dutta, Ibrahim, Chaser Michael Norman, and Chaser Cole Daly. And then the last 2 cars who finished on the lead lap was Cameron Bailey and Ian Siegel. And then these next 7 cars finished the race, or actually no, the next 8 cars finished the race for a lap or 2 down. Rue McIntyre, Dylan Thero, Nathan Hudson, Tommy Mooney, Chaser Danny Wells, Austin LaPlante, Nick Smith, and Chaser Barney Taylor. And then Kyle Matthews, who was out of the race along with Eric Burden. Now, before we finish off the video, we're actually going to take a look at what happened to the 27 right now. We're going to fast forward and see what happens to him. Looks like coming on the pit road. Let's see. Oh, he got a buckle on the back of his car. Did he run into somebody? Yeah, he ran into the 51, and that's what happened to the 51, why he had damage on the hood of his car, or on the rear of his car. So that is what happened to Kyle Matthews. That is a tough break for that 27 team. But, nonetheless, Fred Schaefer gets his 2nd win of the season. Now here's your official results one more time, as well as the updated points. But until the next race, which will be the final race for the 9th through 12th place drivers in points to rebound, otherwise they'll be eliminated from contention, Talladega.